party of two.
There's a party of two right here. Hello, everyone. Happy Christmas. The Thanksgiving holiday is done. We've had all of our leftovers. Get that turkey out of my face. It's all about the plump Christmas goose. We're here talking about theme parks. I'm one of your hosts, the Internet's Mark B. Donica.
And I am one of your other hosts, the Internet's Andrea Donica.
Listen, so we're going to be talking a lot about food today. It wasn't just the intro. If you can tell from the title, I hope you can read. If you can't read, we're going to tell you about it. We experienced the Festival of Holidays at Disney California Adventure Park.
Emphasis on holidays.
Several holidays. Diwali happened.
Yeah, Diwali is awesome. And those Bollywood performers were wonderful.
Same folks as last year.
Yeah, shout out. Yeah, what's
What's up?
I forget the group's
They're
name.
Listening.
Oops.
They listen every week.
Well, I'll find out what their name is. Oh, stop. You don't know what their name is.
I do. I believe in your Google skills, though.
Okay. Stop it.
So we experienced the holidays in a big bad way when it came to Disney California Adventure, and we're going to tell you about it. We're going to be talking about all of the food because there's still time to go. It's still November, for goodness sake. So you've got until January, early January.
Yes.
Like the 6th or 7th usually. It's usually through
after the first weekend of
it goes through
January is typically done because they wait until after New Year's.
Yeah, they go till the 12th day of Christmas, and then whatever weekend that lands on, that's about it. We usually get Tres Reyes Day.
January 8th.
January 8th this year. So we're going to be talking a lot about different Christmas things this year. This particularly is going to be focused on Festival of the Holidays because that's the thing that we did the most recently. However, we're not going to be leaning heavily on Disney. If you listen to our Thanksgiving episode, you know that we talked a little bit about Holiday World, and you bet your sweet buns that I want to do more research on Christmas Land and how that whole thing started out as a Christmas park. And there are so many Santa's villages around the country, around the
everywhere.
world. So we've got a Christmas homework for us to research and seek out any additional Santa's villages that we can. Did you find it?
Blue 13.
It was Blue 13. I remember it was a very weird not themed name. So it's probably a dance troupe.
Yeah, it's a dance troupe.
But
and they are amazing. They were also at Festival of Holidays last year in 2017. It's the same group.
That callback, though.
Yeah. So really, you guys are fantastic. And every time you guys are performing, by the way, we stop and watch because we're thoroughly entertained, and we hope that you're a holiday tradition at Disney's California Adventure every year.
And beyond. We spent a lot of time walking up and down that walkway. We did a full lap before we decided on anything.
I mean, it's not as intensive as it is doing a full lap of things over at Epcot.
No, but I mean, we did that too when we were there.
Yeah, and that was tiring.
Only double dipped once, but it was for the best thing ever. And it was one right after the other.
Yeah.
With this, though, it was, I mean, it's more of if you've ever been to a food and wine festival or if you were at the Festival of Holidays last year, it's a very similar setup. There are themed booths. If I could dip, good, you heard it. If I could dip into Cecil a little bit. But there were individual themed booths with different gimmicks, themes. How I already said themes as a descriptor.
Sure.
But a lot of variety.
Yeah.
Cultural variety.
Yeah, and it didn't necessarily have to be attributed to one specific culture, but sometimes it had to do with a particular ingredient or a flavor or a spice
or beer.
Oh,
there was
There's always the beer tasting.
But there was one booth that was that is mostly alcohol. You get a lot of flights of wine or beer that had one food item that was the only thing that we doubled up on because we had to
Yeah.
get one for each of us. All right, we're going to run through these as quickly as possible.
I mean, don't rush through it.
No.
You don't want to rush through your food. You're going to get a tummy ache. I have to do this all the time with him.
Maybe. All right, so we had a twist on tradition, which were... I found one with the full menu. Hold on. We have a twist on tradition, blissfully braised, brews and bites, favorite things, grandma's recipes, holiday duets, making spirits bright, merry mashups, spicy celebrations, forgive the airplane landing in the background if you can hear it, visions of sugar plums, winter wonders, and winter sliderland. Now that one was interesting because it was in a very weird place. That was the one that was just that was right in front of Grizzly River Run.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was through the Market Street setup.
They tried to expand the footprint and I guess perhaps not make it feel so clustered as it has in years past. It was nice. I think that was good to disperse the crowding a little bit and made it a little bit easier for people to actually get food instead of being stuck in longer lines because almost everything ended up being a walk-up for us, which is unheard of.
We waited in a cup.
Not long, though. I mean, like the beer stand, that usually takes 20 to 30 minutes when it's at
we
its
did okay.
peak. And instead, we only waited maybe 5 minutes.
Now, we skipped the Winter Sliderland mostly because it was the last one that we saw. But it has a roasted turkey slider with cranberry sauce, holiday stuffing, mac and cheese, and a milk chocolate candy cane pot de crème for your food offerings. And then for beverages, it has Oscar Blues Old Chub, which is real good. Like that's a really good canned beer. So to have that on tap would have been weird. They also have a frosty frosé with fleur de prairie rosé, blue curacao, and white cranberry juice served frozen with a mint sprig.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. One of the few drinks that seemed pretty dang good. Making spirits bright. Which was all alcohol, but you only got one alcoholic beverage, correct?
Correct. It was a ginger mule, blood orange ginger mule.
Yeah.
With a sprig of rosemary.
That was at Blissfully Braised.
Yes.
Which, for food offerings, has braised pork belly adobo with garlic fried rice. That was really hard to not choose.
Yeah.
Especially, so the thing that we got from there was the cornbread cakes with braised collard greens and smoked bacon gravy.
It was so good.
I was expecting the collard greens to be like a part of the dish as opposed to infused in the cornbread. So it was a little bit surprising because I didn't feel like they made their presence known, but it was good. But it's also, just keep in mind, it's like an English muffin but cornbread. So it's not. It's definitely none of this stuff is super filling. But this one especially, I felt like I tasted something and then it just disappeared.
The point of all of this is to sample tastes around the world, in a sense.
But what I'm saying is, like, this felt like it took up no space whatsoever. Like, I didn't feel like I got less hungry. The second I finished it, I was like, did I eat anything? It tasted good. It wasn't my absolute favorite thing that we had, but it was transparent. It was really weird. It's really a really weird way to describe that, but that's the only way that I can. All right, Spicy Celebrations. That was a pomegranate margarita with chipotle smoked sea salt half rim with, here we go, chocolate chipotle pot de creme, jalapeno latkes with chipotle crema, bless you,
Thank you.
and Nashville hot fried turkey with dill pickles.
Oh, yes. We stopped when we saw that.
That was the first thing. This was the first thing we had.
Yeah.
And it was good, but it wasn't fresh.
No, and we've had hot chicken before, and
Nashville style hot chicken.
this was turkey instead. And I don't know, I think I like the flavoring better with chicken than I do with turkey. It's not like chicken and turkey are that different from each other, but in terms of flavoring for that spice, I thought it was a nice idea, but it wasn't a wow.
Agreed. It didn't stand out at all.
Yeah.
The fact that it wasn't cold, it just
Yeah.
wasn't fresh.
Yeah.
You know, like it wasn't a fresh piece of fried turkey. We weren't told what piece of the turkey it was. It just says fried turkey. It could have been breast. It could have been wing. It could have been leg. It could have been whatever. You know, and that, especially with turkey, that matters. Was it dark meat? It was white meat. So
Yeah.
take that how you will. But if we had an opportunity to have fresh Nashville fried turkey, I would go for it. I mean, that's why we went for it, is because
Right.
we're so used to a particular standard when it comes to that stuff, and especially with Disney. But with how the Festival of Holidays operates and having to be so quick service, everything has to be ready to go right away and hot and boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Or have something on it that can reheat it, you know, like with the cornbread.
Yeah.
You can keep the cornbread kind of warm, but as long as the gravy's warm, then everything's warm
Yeah.
once you put it on, or soup or curry or whatever.
As
So,
we will get to.
yeah, so that was a bit of a disappointment, I think. It again, it's not that it was bad. I'm not mad, I'm just
It just
disappointed.
wasn't special, that's all.
Yeah. And there's a lot of stuff that here that that could be special.
Yeah.
In terms of the beverages, you can't go wrong with anything here. If you are a fan of fruity beverages, alcoholic beverages, beer, wine,
There's definitely something for you. You're
Sure.
going to have a hard time choosing between something, and that's the whole idea.
legitimately a lot of my favorite beers are on this menu and are on the menu. Like we talked about
yeah.
the old chub. So here we are at Grandma's Recipes. We're taking a journey around the world out of order because this blog post put them out of order. So in terms of beverages, we've got Whiter's Hard Pear Cider, which is a perennial favorite of ours. Town Park Brew Company's Town Park Brew Company Gosa Fresca, excuse me. If I'm saying that wrong, I probably am. Avery Brewing's White Rascal, which I'm a big fan of. That's one where if I don't know what to have, like I used to get that at Prohibition a lot, where it's like, oh, you have too many good things. I just give me White Rascal because that I know I'll enjoy. Smog City's Snugglebug, which is a sour blonde. Here's one that we didn't. Well, I mean, this is a non-alcoholic one, but you could probably make alcoholic. Mary Cherry Pineapple Punch with with red maraschino cherries. I'm ill, forgive me.
He's trying, folks. He's really trying. I can't
really
tell
am.
you the amount of cough drops he has every day.
I've almost gone through a bag of 100. I think I've got about 15 left.
Oh, boy.
Well, it's been a week or two.
Yeah.
But at Grandma's Recipes, that's where you can get a gingerbread Mickey, which I had trouble finding.
Yes, we were searching everywhere for a gingerbread Mickey
Well, I
when
usually-
we
I
were
usually
about
don't have
to head
to.
out. Yeah.
I go to the Esmeralda candy shop. There's a little cookie corner right there.
Penny Arcade.
Yeah, the Penny Arcade. I usually go right there every year. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
That's right where I go to get a gingerbread Mickey. And they're like, "Oh, we don't have those. I don't think we've ever had those." Which I was just like, "Thank you."
Which was just a joke.
Charlatan. You must be new.
They were only located on Main Street at Starbucks, and by the time the park was closed, the line was just a bit too long for our taste.
Always was. But you can pick one up at Grandma's Recipes along with candied yams with marshmallow cream and toasted pecans. Not for me. Or a beef pot roast on potato roll with horseradish cream. It's like a little sandwich. It's really cute.
It's adorable.
Little sandwich. Then we've got Visions of Sugar Plums. This is the dessert cart, essentially, and there was a lot of really good-looking stuff. By the time we got back to it, we were
just too full. That's the hard thing with this. Even though it's small, as you jump between the different spots, suddenly you go, "Oh my gosh, I can't eat anymore."
Well, you rush, and then all of a sudden you're full, and then any pacing that you were doing is gone.
Yeah.
So at Visions of Sugar Plums, they have Sweet Dreams and Milk, sponsored by Horizon Organic Low-Fat Milk and a choice of dessert. It's a little combo that they have because Horizon sponsors it. But for food, you've got warm sticky toffee pudding with a butterscotch sauce, white chocolate cranberry blondie, an eggnog wreath eclair with white chocolate icing, and the one that I was the most interested in was the horchata fudge.
Yeah.
Because it's milky cinnamon sugar in fudge form. It's essentially just hardened horchata, which I'm all about. And here's also where you can get a tall carton of Horizon Organic Low-Fat Milk, bourbon cider with house-made bourbon-infused marshmallow. That was the thing that you were looking at.
I was really looking at that.
But also they had the s'mores frozen chocolate milk with house-made toasted marshmallow-infused whipped cream, graham cracker crumble, and chocolate drizz. And that was a non-alcoholic, unfortunately. Holiday duets. This one was interesting. We got something from this. But it's where you can get holiday Mickey and Minnie cookies. Adorable. Shrimp and grits with andouille sausage. We have experience with shrimp and grits. We made those with Blue Apron. Blue Apron, we need a sponsor.
We do, and we love you.
The Ballast Point Brewing Company has their Spruce Tip Sculpin IPA, which is one of their holiday ones, and it's pretty dang good. Warm peppermint chocolate float with peppermint hot chocolate, vanilla ice cream, whipped cream, and peppermint crumbles. But the thing that we had from here was the curry cauliflower soup with braised lamb and mint churri.
Oh my gosh, it was so good.
It was real good.
I've never had a curry soup before, and it was just so comforting, so warm. For you, the flavor stayed a little too long in your system. For me, it was a cleanser almost for my body in a way. And I really loved how all the flavors lent together. It had the best of everything. For me, that was my favorite thing that we had at Festival of Holidays.
Well, we're getting to my favorite thing. But it's not to say that this wasn't good, because it was. But it was, excuse me for being a little too blue, but every burp, every sort of clearing of the throat, and especially with me sort of being a cough boy for these past little bit, every single cough I remember, even everything that we had, almost everything that we had after that had a little bit of the curry in it. I wasn't raised with curry. It's something that I started having when I met my lovely wife. So it could be something that my body still isn't quite used to, but it was good. And if you like curry, I would say even if you don't like curry, the cauliflower of it was very refreshing. Yeah. And like you said, cleansing. It was just the curry part that stuck. The cauliflower, every bite, it's weird. For if anybody out there watches anime or reads anime, it's like one of those food shows where somebody takes a bite and then they look back down and it's empty. If we weren't sharing it, that probably would have been something where all of a sudden I just stopped thinking and I need another bowl. Yeah. It was really good.
Well, that was how I felt about it too. I had to be very controlled as to not demolish it.
But we did,
but I was at least sharing with you.
That's kind of why we were walking with it a bit. Yeah. Because it's like, all right, let's eating soup and walking.
It's weird. Yeah, that's one of my great frustrations about this whole setup is you really don't have a whole lot of places to stop and enjoy the snacks. There's only a few stand tables, but not really all that many, and they fill up so quickly, and people will just lean up against it even if they're not eating, which is so annoying to me. But you can't control what other guests do. You just have to keep rolling with the punches. But I'd like to be able to enjoy my snacks a little bit. I don't want to have to walk half a mile on another completely different area in California Adventure to enjoy this snack that I'm going to eat within a minute or two.
To me, it's more of they had the seating at the wrong places.
Mm.
Like some of the areas, especially with one of the ones that we're going to get to in a little bit, it's primarily a beer place, but they give you dip, and we didn't. It's a two-handed food. Like the soup, the lamb sort of makes the soup a two-handed food because you could just ostensibly drink the soup.
Yeah.
But with the lamb shank in there, while it is,
Well, it was shredded.
yeah, but it's still a possible roadblock. And it's sort of like how you try to get 1 cube of ice from the bottom of the cup and it never works. Just imagine a face full of hot soup and lamb and mint. I don't want that. I'm not a fan of that.
Well, I have to disagree with you, but
You want a face full of hot soup and lamb and mint? No,
it wasn't heinously hot.
No, but that's what I'm saying is trying to drink the soup would cause problems.
They could just put it in a cup with a little handle and I'd be okay. Maybe you wouldn't.
No, I'd be okay with it, but I don't want meat hitting me in the face. Family show. But it's cup of soup as an actual cup of soup, like a kid-sized cup that they give the free water in. Just put the soup in that. I'll drink that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Moving on to favorite things. Cranberry sangria with a lime garnish and an eggnog cocktail with whipped cream and nutmeg dusting. With a holiday ham shank with brown sugar pineapple glaze. That was the I think that's the picture boy, the most picturesque food that they offer here. And if it's like, hey, you want some of this food, they show that, but it's because it's misleading. It's pineapple for scale, but pineapple can be big. Like looking at the picture there, you can go, oh, that could be pretty big. It's not.
It's not.
It's not very big. And there's also the Reuben potato tots with Russian dressing and rye toast.
That sounded really interesting to me.
Lachame. Moving on to Brews and Bites. This is primarily the beer place. There's a couple things here that looked interesting, but with the food option here, which is chorizo queso fundido with house-made tortilla chips, some of these don't go with that.
Yeah.
So let's go through these really quick. There's the Figueroa Mountain Brewing Company Paradise Road Pilsner, the North Coast Brewing Company Blue Star, which is a wheat beer, the Ommegang Rosetta Aged Cherry Ale, the Deschutes Mirror Pond Pale Ale. Deschutes has so many other things that would go well here. Anderson Valley's Boont, which is an amber ale. Aftershocks Oatmeal Raisin Cookie Ale, which was one of the things that I wanted to try super bad, but we were getting cheese and chorizo.
Yeah.
Doesn't fit. Carl Strauss's Isomerizer IPA. I probably read that wrong. New Belgium's Accumulation White IPA. Cigar City's Maduro Brown. Carl Strauss's 9 Bonfires Blazing Golden Stout. And the Legends Brewery Cookies Galore Chocolate Cookie Milk Stout, which is another one I wanted to try, but doesn't fit. However, the chorizo, which we each got one of, was remarkable.
It was so good. When we came up, I was just like, we're getting two. There's no question about it. I know that if we get one, there will be some resentment. So it's just better to just have enough for the two of us. And we demolished them.
Well, you demolished yours.
Oh, that's true.
I had to go a little bit slower because I'm minding my teethus and I didn't grab a spoon. So I was like, I'm going to have these with chips. It's just going to take a while because I'm going to take my sweet time. And it was really good in terms of queso. It's definitely a Disney queso.
Right.
This isn't going to win any awards in Texas, but it's pretty damn good. The chorizo was pretty damn good. And yeah, I would say this is a must-have item from the entire festival.
Yeah, and I would say if you want to pair it with something, we don't recommend getting one of the beers that they're offering there just because it's more of a a seasonal holiday flavor that they're offering for those beers, which makes sense. It's just they're a weird pairing together. So grab the pomegranate margarita that's just a little bit down the way.
I think the only thing from this one specifically would be the Deschutes Pale Ale. That would be the closest thing I think that would work with this. Because everything else, stout, IPA, maybe the Pils, the Figueroa Pilsner.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, it's very weird pairing here, but I don't know where else you would put that because it's just queso.
Yeah.
And I use that term lovingly.
He really does.
I do. Winter Wonders, pumpkin soup with maple cashew cream, chana masala with grilled garlic naan, which is vegan, I believe. Like, not just vegetarian, but vegan. And then a vanilla and cranberry trifle, and this comes with pomegranate lemonade, which is non-alcoholic. Now, the pumpkin soup was interesting. Seemed very interesting, but also we kind of went with one soup and lived with it. Because, as I mentioned earlier, well, actually, I think I mentioned this to somebody, but not here. Anything that didn't come with meat, at least to me, didn't seem as filling.
Yeah.
So the pumpkin soup, okay, and the chana masala sounded really good, but it would be, I would have to get something else with it.
Yeah, exactly.
But that looks good.
It does.
Here's the Merry Mashups. Here's, I think, the most interesting stuff from all of them. And the thing that caught my eye first was the turkey and stuffing tamale with cranberry relish, the lox and everything bagel nachos, and the hot cocoa marshmallow macaroon, which looks like a little cup of cocoa. It's real cute. And then for beverages there's a holiday punch with lime sherbet and Sprite.
Sherbet.
Yeah, it's sherbet. Sherbet. It's not sherbet, it's sherbet. Sherbet your life. And sparkling wine punch with Chandon Brut, sparkling wine, and lime sherbet.
Shandon. Whatever.
Shandon? Did I say did I go hard cha?
You did.
Sorry, it keeps remote and Chandon. Yeah, I suppose it is softer. Yeah, I don't know.
It's okay.
Let me do that.
No worries.
But this, as much as I like all of these things,
Yeah.
and the idea of all of these things, I don't think that they'd return next year unless they were under a different place. Because Merry Mashup seems like a place where you could really play and have fun with offering these flavors in different ways. And when we go back this holiday season, because we're gonna, I'm looking right at you.
Okay.
We're
I hope so. I'm gonna hold you to that, honey.
We're gonna try out more of this stuff and bring you more of a comprehensive thing, and maybe do an ultimate, like, what we want to return.
Well, the other thing too, they have a pass to, basically you have a passport to have certain amount of credits to get something here, get something there. Let me
It's essentially a you get one thing per, and it saves you a little bit.
Yeah, it's the 2018 Disney Festival of Holidays Sip and Savor Pass. And it retails for $54, including tax.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11?
You
11
get
places?
a lanyard and 8 coupons.
It's like festival. It's
redeemable for food and beverage offerings, but excluding alcohol, which is something to keep in mind.
That's why they have non-alcoholic offerings at every. Well, that's one of the reasons why they have non-alcoholic offerings at every single stand.
Yeah,
and
you can get them. This was one of the things too that I have a minor complaint about.
What?
Because when we came specifically over there for Festival of Holidays, and when you come over there, you should see right away, hey, buy this pass so you can enjoy things a little bit more and celebrate. Instead, after having gone to one or two booths, one of the cast members said, hey, maybe you should check this out. And we're like, well, we kind of already we're kind of already halfway through this, so that's kind of a bummer. Maybe next time.
Yeah.
If they could just make it a little more clear when you're entering through that that's an option, because we're also people that go to the parks quite regularly, and the fact that we didn't really know too much. I know that they've done it in the back.
We knew that it was available, but we didn't know how to get one.
Exactly.
And we were about 3 stands in before somebody went, oh, right over there, you can pick up the thing. And it's like, well, too late.
Exactly. So apparently you can get these passes at the festival merchandise carts, Seaside Souvenirs, which is in Paradise Gardens Park, Holidays Central near the Little Mermaid Adventure, Kingswell Camera
Embarcadero?
Shop. No, it's not listed there.
No, but I mean, is the holiday shop Embarcadero? Or are these all of the individual stands?
I think this might be all of the stands, because they list the camera shop. Oh, Russian River Outfitters is probably the one store that's and that's of course by Grizzly River Run.
Yeah.
I was very tempted to go on Grizzly River Run.
It was closed.
It wasn't. It was 5 minutes long.
Wait. Oh, no, we thought it was closed, but it was open later in the day. Because you said it looked like it was drained. And then you were like,
that's
holy
right.
cow.
Yeah, this crazy thing happened. And this is a little off topic from our food focus, but I love water rides. Very much so. It's a little tricky to get Mark to go on them, especially when it's cooler.
What's that?
But I'm always checking out Grizzly River Run, and I look over, and the entire flume was drained. There was maybe only little puddles, and the rafts were scattered about and just kind of hanging out. And I thought, oh, that's too bad. It's weird that they would have it closed during the peak holiday season as well. And a few hours later, we come back around, and it's going. Everything's filled back up, and I truly wonder how long it takes Disney to completely refill the attraction with water, where it gets stored, and that whole process. Fascinating. But yeah, it was back up and running. 5-minute wait.
And usually when it comes to stuff like that, I'm like, do you want that or Splash Mountain? Because you're going to be cold.
He's always negotiating these things with me. And obviously I'm going to say Splash Mountain. There's more audio animatronics on it. Want to see the cute
There could be more
bunnies.
audio animatronics on Grizzly River Run.
I wish there were.
You know, one way to get me on that ride?
Get some country bears on there.
Put them country bears on that raft ride. And just singing, ain't nothing like the great outdoors to ease your soul.
Well, back in the day when John Lasseter was riding high in the Disney company, he actually wanted to put the country bears inside of the Bear Mountain.
Oh, I know. And I hate that decision was never followed through.
Same here. He also had another amazing idea of having a new version of Nature's Wonderland going through the Redwood area.
Ain't nothing like the great outdoors to keep you from going old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially cute little critters.
Yeah.
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 Darn it.
This was a fun night. This was a fun trip. We also spent a little bit of time in the Grand Californian, where right now they're showing their full. Well, it seems to be at one Disney hotel per property. It seems at least one in Florida, one here. I don't know about the other ones, where there is a gingerbread version of that hotel.
Yeah.
Because at the Grand Californian, there is a gingerbread Grand Californian that smells amazing, and it was relatively fresh.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It actually might have been in the process of still being built. because
they
I
had
saw
a
tweets
little
a couple
sign.
days later.
They had a little sign saying that it would be debuting soon, but it very much looked like it was ready when we came in.
Probably drying, or maybe there's a couple of other pieces or accoutrements that were
Maybe some last minute special effects to add on
a
there.
couple of last minute accoutrements.
You can buy little mini ones of the hotel too to bring home.
Yeah, they're little ornamental accoutrements. That's 3, and I'm done.
Okay.
We just hung out in the hearth, took a load off.
It was nice.
It was really nice. You had
Sat in front of the fire.
some sweet hot chocolate.
Oh, yes. One of my favorite things to do during the holidays. Just go to the Grand Californian, chill out, get a hot chocolate, and get a little shot of rum mixed in. My husband is showing me nonplussed images of myself when we were leaving Disneyland that night.
I think that's the keeper. Tweet that one. No, because I've I already tweeted one without asking you, which I think was playing with hot fire.
Oh yeah, you're lucky.
I'm alive.
Yeah.
I'm lucky I'm alive.
Well, you're lucky we were just walking into Universal when that was happening.
Oh no, that was days ago. I tweeted that days ago.
No, but you didn't tell me that you tweeted it until
well, yeah,
we were
I tagged
walking
you, so
in.
I was like, oh, she'll see it, and if she wants me to take it down, she'll take it down. But you definitely got to look through the Grand Californian during the holiday seasons if you haven't. They have their own tree. They have their own tree. The way that they deck their halls, but also it's a wonderful place just to sit, take a load off for a little bit.
Yeah.
Even though the security stuff these days is anytime you enter property, you have to go through a metal detector. Whatever.
It's not a big deal.
No.
And
The lines
it's
are
especially
rarely-
faster over there anyway.
The lines are rarely that bad, but we took a walk through and took a load off. There's the pianist that's there.
Mm-hmm.
Played a wonderful rendition of Remember Me, which took me a second to realize,
Yeah.
and once I did, started crying a little bit. Walking along the downtown Disney property, and I think the only this guy's getting really antsy. So I think in order to round out today's episode, just to talk about it a little bit, there's a lot of really cool Wreck-It Ralph stuff in the parks right now. At Void, there's Ralph Breaks VR, which you can check out, and we're going to be checking out pretty soon.
Yeah.
As long as our schedules provide, we have an opportunity. We want to take advantage of that opportunity.
We're definitely going to be checking out and reporting back to you.
Yes, we are. There's the Ralph set of Zoom Zooms, which are currently in the park.
They're adorable.
They're very adorable. Ralph, Vanellope, Shank, the cat and the bunny, yes, and Nosemore, who is adorable.
I love Nosemore.
Nosemore is pretty adorable. They had to give a role to Alan Tudyk just because, if you haven't seen Wreck-It Ralph 1, for reasons, he doesn't return as the same character he was in Wreck-It Ralph 1.
Yeah.
But there's that, and then at the Tomorrowland Theater, they actually gave Ralph full access to sort of preview Ralph Breaks the Internet, and it's a fun little show. It's a couple of clips. It's all like the first half an hour of the movie, and gives away very little.
It does, surprisingly, and still they show you a lot of footage.
Yeah.
And it's
hosted by Ralph.
It is. It's thoroughly enjoyable. Definitely check it out.
And if you need any more Wreck-It Ralph stuff, make sure to check our YouTube channel, because there is a spoiler-free review that I did when I got to see an early screening of it. If you haven't seen Ralph Breaks the Internet yet, check out the
Go see
review. Go see the movie. I'm so happy we got to see it. I'm really happy that's, of all of the movies out right now, that's the one that you wanted to see, because Ralph is very near and dear to my heart. But this person's, they're yelling at us pretty roughly to get over there. We should probably head out. Andrea, where can the folks find you on Twitter?
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at DoleWhipDrea.
You can find me on Twitter at Mark B. Donica. I do a lot of other stuff on top of this. Hopefully you're a fan of that as well as this. But you can follow us on Twitter at Party of Two Pod. We've been pretty steady with posting a lot of park holiday photos and things of that nature,
and more are
and
to come.
videos, and there's stuff that we're going to be putting up on our YouTube channel. We're trying to, like, there's the week where we didn't have an audio episode, not only because I couldn't talk because I was coughing too dang much, but just as a way to put focus on the YouTube channel. But we're going to put more stuff up there very soon once we figure out technology. But
Mark, he's really yelling at us.
Okay, all right. It's Dole Whip Drea, Mark Budonica, Party of Two Pod. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank
We'll
you.
We'll see you on the next ride.